Has approved a plan today to better prepare for a public health emergency such as COVID-19. 6 News' Johan Marin is on your side with how it works.
4 years ago, the COVID-19 pandemic shut down the world. There were millions of cases and deaths, and hospitals stretched beyond their capacity.
Let's hope we never have another one of those. However, knowing that things have been changing rapidly, it's not outside the realm of possibility that we have public health emergencies from time to time.
In response to the pandemic, the Douglas County Health Department is working on a plan to better prepare for public health emergencies. It involves working with several organizations, like Christ Community Church and the Visiting Nurses Association, to more readily provide medical resources.
If we're prepared, that means that we are able to respond so much faster. The quicker we can get vaccines to people, the quicker we can get medications to people, or whatever those medical countermeasures look like, the more lives we can save and protect.
Vodic is a nonprofit teaming up with the county in their efforts. The CEO tells 6 News the partnership helps its employees.
It keeps an estimated 1,000 people out of the public lines, just in case anything would happen, because we would be able to provide vaccines for that many people, I think, provided by Douglas County.
Dr. Hughes says this isn't the first time they're working with some of the organizations.
The sites that are chosen really are because those are groups that we have worked with in the past and have good partnerships with, or because they are centrally located, or they're a place where we know a significant amount of the public can get there.
Overall, Hughes believes the pandemic was a lesson learned on how to move forward.
Having these plans in place is extremely important, making sure that these sites know what our expectations might be.
The Douglas County Health Department also has other online information, like how you can prepare your family for a public health emergency and what you should know. We'll have more information for you at WWT.com. On your side, Johan Marin, 6 News.